Hello, hello, travelers. Welcome in. You may have noticed that we started like a couple seconds late. That is because I was watching TikTok. But anyway, welcome in. We are doing Tales with Time today. Finally, I know it's been like 2 weeks since we did it. But we're reading The Edge of Sleep. We're starting it today. The Edge of Sleep, written by Jake Emanuel and Willie Block with Jason Gurley, which I did not know that. I was literally, when I was setting up the like slideshow and stuff, I was like trying to find the author, and then I realized all three of them were, and I was like, well, shit. So I had to like kind of cram them all into one thing. But if you I'm not going to be on the edge of sleep for this stream. Yeah, you're going to be actually asleep, Scully. I'm going to put you to sleep in like 5 seconds flat. No, I'm just kidding. If you think that the edge of sleep sounds familiar, that's because it was also it is also, or was, I think the TV show is completed. But it had Markiplier in it. So, which I did not know that, but I'm very happy about it. I haven't watched The Edge of Sleep, I don't think. I think I've seen like clips of it and stuff on like TikTok and whatnot. But I don't think I've actually fully watched The Edge of Sleep with Markiplier in it. And there's other good actors in it too, like not just Markiplier, but Markiplier's very well known on YouTube and streaming, I'm assuming. So, but yes, The Edge of Sleep. I'm very excited because it's supposed to be very like Lovecraftian and just like mind fucky, and I love books that are mind fuckery. But anyway, yes, we are gonna go. Well, I pretty much just did the introduction. But the book, a survival horror story about a worldwide plague where anyone who falls asleep dies. And it follows the main character, Dave Torres, as he tries to stay awake and solve the mystery with other survivors, using his own terrifying nightmares as potential clues while battling the relentless need to sleep. You are? Oh, I see. I want to go see it so bad. I kept meaning to like reserve tickets, and then I forgot. And then, like, now I'm just broke, so I can't go reserve tickets. But I'm sure I'll get tickets eventually for it. But I do really want to see Iron Lung. I also want to see, they're coming out with the Dracula A Love Story movie. Listen, don't judge me. I keep seeing like clips of it on TikTok, and I'm not really like a romance movie kind of person, but fucking if you look up TikToks of this movie, like it was released in another country and they're finally putting out in theaters in America. I've literally been waiting for this movie to come out because it actually looks really good and just so very romantic. I'm going with my housemates and another friend of ours. However, I'm also broke as fuck right now. I feel that. Hi, Sharp. Welcome in. We're talking about movies at the moment. I haven't started reading it. But no, I was talking about the movie Dracula, A Love Story that's coming out in America in like a couple days or something. I think it was actually like February 2nd it's supposed to come out, but I'm gonna go see that. I'm gonna try and convince my coworkers to go with me or something because I very badly want to see that movie. Just because I don't like romance movies, but that movie, like the trailer for it, just looks so like heartbreakingly sweet that I need that in my life at the moment. Okay, I just need it. All right, guys. So don't judge me for what movies I'm gonna go see. But anyway, the book that we're reading is The Edge of Sleep, which is a book and also a TV show following the same premises because they're the same thing. But anyway, the TV show features Mark Fishback, Markiplier, Leo Tipton, and Franz Drame. I'm pretty sure I fucked it up, but we're gonna keep going. Also, of course, with every Tales with Time thing, I have expectations. So listen up, kiddos. That's what I say to my kids at the daycare. I'm like, listen up, kids. These are my expectations. But anyway, rule number one, no spoilers. You may have seen the show. You may have already read the story. That's great. But please don't spoil it for everyone else who is listening. Which leads me into number two. Please be respectful. You may have certain opinions about what happens in the book or something like that. That's completely fine. Just make sure that you're not hating on anyone else's opinions when they decide to share them. Also, don't spam random shit. I don't care if you spam emojis, especially if like something dramatic happens in the story while I'm reading and you're like, what the fuck is that? I don't care. I don't care about that. You can do that. I'm saying like don't spam like, I don't know, the word dick a million times in my chat, okay? I don't know why you would, but you know, I'm using it as an example. Number three, I am not a pro. If you would like to hear like the official audiobook, I don't know if there is one actually I'm assuming there is an official audiobook for The Edge of Sleep. But definitely go and check out the actual book. It's very great. Go check out the show. I know I've heard that it's very good as well. So, but yes, and then number 4. Oh, well, that led me into number 4. So, um, all right. But so, oh my God, I literally cannot talk today. Anyway, I hope everyone had a really good. Is it Thursday or is it Wednesday? It's Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday because I had the morning off, which I spent with my dog. I spent all morning with my dog, and then I was feeling myself a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna dress really nice today. So I like wore a cute outfit, and then I did my hair. I like straightened it today because my hair is usually pretty like wavy, not curly, but like wavy, like very beach waves, like natural. And so I straightened my hair and I put it like up in like I did like half braids, but they're like only the top part of my head is like braided, and then it like I don't know how to explain it to you. It was very cute, trust me. I got so many compliments at work. They were like, "Oh my gosh, you look like an adult today." And I was like, "Fuck you." Cuz usually when I go to work, I wear like just like what is it? Some lounge pants and then like a t-shirt or a sweater, and then I blend in with the kids because I'm also short. Okay, so because that's what all the kids wear. And then today I came in with like a cute pair of jeans on and like a V-neck sweater. I was rocking. I had heels on. I was feeling myself, guys. I did not wear makeup today though because I was not about to fucking do that. But also because we had to go in and clean because we had a lice outbreak. Yeah, and a flu outbreak. Yeah, it's that time of the year. You would think the cold would just kill off all the lice on people's heads or something, but no, it doesn't. So now all of our daycare smells like rosemary and tea tree oil because that's what we use to fucking clean everything. I'm saying everything. We use it to clean fucking everything. But yeah. Anyway, I'm so yapping. We should probably get into this, and that way, you guys can get cozy, grab your favorite drinks, or if you're in bed, get cozy up in your blankets and prepare for me to put you to fuck to sleep, you know? All right. We're going into the prologue. So the way they have this set out, by the way, the book, because I was thumbing through it, it's the chapters are kind of weird because it's not like really chapters. It's like set in sections. So the first section is like the prologue, but then there's numbers that I think are supposed to like separate into chapters under. It's confusing. But anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and get in. Also, my choice of drink today, I didn't have any tea to make. I just grabbed some Coca-Cola because also I need the fucking energy, even though I slept in today. But anyway, again, I'm rambling. We're gonna go ahead and go on. Prologue. Dave Torres doesn't know where he is. A darkness, not quite total, enfolds him. The cold of it jars his bones. Something flickers before his eyes, too near for him to focus on it. Just as quickly it's gone again. A silky, nervous shape wriggles against his fingertips. At the periphery of his vision, dozens of murky shapes hover in the shadows, studying him. The darkness flares golden, bringing with it a sudden heat that relieves his aches, then threatens to sear him alive. A terrible whine, loud as the front row at a jetpack show, sends needles into his ears. A moment later, the shredded wing of an aircraft carves through space, rippling the darkness. Dave reels backward as a buckled fuselage... What the fuck is that word? Buckled fuselage? Missiles pass. Its fractured windows glowing, flashing with bright flames. The wreckage of the plane tumbles away from him, disappearing into a swirling void beneath Dave's feet. What is going on? The shadow observers venture closer. Fish, all sorts of them. Striped ones, dotted ones, sleek and spiny ones. Some of them bioluminescent, smears in the dark. I'm underwater? The fish scatter as a heavy shadow blots out the light above. For a moment, Dave thinks it might be a ship. But no, it's larger, broader, and it twists through the water like a ribbon. Twists deeper, towards Dave. Dave cries out. A flurry of bubbles rushes from his mouth, rising skyward, but they never reach the distant surface. Instead, they collect and break against the belly of that ominous, massive beast. I'm gonna say so. It's separated into parts. So that was like part one of the prologue. So I'm going on to part two now, and I'll just say like part three and whatnot, because that's the best way I could describe it. With the shock, Dave finds himself on land again. His legs liquefy, and he's on his knees in a second, coughing up gallons of seawater. His lungs sizzle, as though he's breathed in sparks from a bonfire. Water sluices down his body and onto parched soil. His eyes stung with salt, twitch involuntarily. Ooh. He collapses, rolls onto his back, sucks in air like a man who hasn't tasted it in weeks. Hi, Went. Hey guys, don't mind me. I'm just here for a nice bedtime story. Sorry, I got distracted. The noise distracted me. My bad. Let me continue. um, the shadow passes over him again. Dave shields his eyes against a watery sun. The dark silhouette of a whale spirals down through high clouds. Larger. Closer. I'm dead, Dave understands. I'm actually fucking dead. The whale hangs its enormous body in the sky, weightless as dandelion fluff. The whale's fins gently stir the air. Its flukes rise and fall. A geyser of seawater issues from the whale's blowhole. I'm immature. Ignore me. Raining a fine, salty mist upon Dave. Sorry. See, I haven't had this problem with the other books because I already read them. But I'm reading this first time with you guys. So if I happen to make commentary on the side, it's because I'm reading this for the first time, and I literally will spew out commentary as I'm reading. So just don't mind the comments that I may make. The whale's heavy-lidded eye, black as polished obsidian, regards him. Not dead. Not yet, I'm afraid. The words are soundless, but vibrate at a nauseating frequency. Dave's heart flutters like a bird's, defibrillated. His organs quiver. He lies prone, struck down by the voice of a god. Dave, the whale blinks its enormous eyes slowly. What did you bring me, Dave? Dave keeps his mouth resolutely shut, afraid he might vomit again. The entire sea seems to roil in his guts. What did you bring me? I don't have anything, Dave croaks. Check your pockets, please. My pockets? The whale dips its giant head. Your pockets. I'm being mugged by a flying fish. The whale spouts again, displeased. Mist rains down on Dave as he pats first the left pocket of his drenched jeans. It's empty, but not the right. He struggles to withdraw the object from his shrunken pocket, then looks dubiously up at the whale. It's just a bottle of what the fuck? Oh, it's just a bottle of Samalcia, he reports. Sleeping pills. Give it to me. You want my sleeping pills? Give it to me. Dave opens his palm, holds the bottle up to the whale. Open it, please. Dave struggles with the cap. I'm sorry, my hands are so fucking slick. The lid pops free. Before Dave can shake the pills into his hand, they take flight, rising from the little orange bottle like bubbles. The whale opens its vast mouth, baleen gleaming. Dave, not the whale. Who? Wake up, Dave, wake up! And that was the end of the prologue. So, like I was saying before, so I'm trying to explain like how the story is kind of split up. It's split up in sections, and then each section has like chapters in it. So the prologue was split into like 2 chapters. Also, like I was also saying, so eloquently, this is my first time reading it too, so I probably will stop a lot more to just say quiet comments because that's how I read. When I'm reading, I will literally just talk to myself the whole time. Because, like, I'm reading in my head and then I'm talking to myself out loud. It's really confusing. You're gonna notice it in this. Like, the previous times, I hadn't done it because I've already read those books, so... But anyway, we're continuing on to The Whale. The Whale, Part 1. Wake up! Wake up, Dave! Wake up! Dave's eyes snap open. What the hell, bro? Mateo swims into view, thick brow knitted in concern. Jesus, stay right there. Don't move. There's glass. Well, it's everywhere. The room flexes, shivers. Dave blinks, trying to clear his head to orient himself. The bank of closed-circuit TV monitors. The smoke detector's blinking battery light. The crimson glow of the exit site. The steady red indicator on the security camera. All of it familiar, but not from this angle. I'm on the floor, Dave realizes. Why am I on the floor? Dave runs his hand through his hair. Ouch, he mutters. He inspects his hand in the dim light. It's streaked with ink. No, blood. He plants his hand on the floor, intending to push himself upright, but snatches it back in pain. Fuck! I told you not to move, man, Mateo says, reappearing with the plastic first aid kit. He crouches next to Dave. All the glass, remember? Give me your hand. My head, not my hand, Dave says. The words come out cottony and heavy. Shit. Yeah, you tore yourself up. Hand. Dave winces as Mateo brushes glass fragments from his palm. Then he sucks air over his teeth as Mateo pours hydrogen peroxide onto his skin. An array of tiny cuts bubble and froth. Chill, Mateo says, annoyingly calm. It's hardly a scratch. A paper cut. A flesh wound, Dave says on autopilot. Yo, I love that movie. Wait, oh my gosh. I know this is a reference to a movie, and I know I'm not going to say it right. Don't judge me. My name is Enrique Montague. You sorted my dad. Prepare to be killed. Dave doesn't correct him. What happened? Mateo dabs Dave's palm dry, clucking his tongue. Check this. I go out for a smoke, right? Hank told me, oh my god, Hank told me he thought someone tagged the Daxalab sign on the day shift. So I take a walk, right? To investigate. Someone tagged the sign? Hank's full of shit. Sign's fine. So I have my smoke. I come back and the card reader won't read my access card. I thought Hank said they fixed that. Full of shit, Mateo repeats. Like I said, point is, I couldn't get in, right? So I knocked on the glass trying to get you off your ass to come get the door for me, but I could see right into the security office, right? And there you were, lurching around like a goddamn zombie. He laughs to himself, then leans over Dave to grab something. He rocks back onto his heels, waggling an empty prescription bottle. You were shaking this around like a champagne bottle. Pills like a fountain everywhere, bro. Dave scans the room. Mateo's right. There are small pills scattered among the shards of glass. So, like, I finally get in. You gotta sort of press the card against the scan strip while you slide it. That's the trick. Mateo. I'm getting there. Mateo strips open a gauze packet, then straps it to Dave's palm with a roll of medical tape. So I get inside and I'm like, yo, Dave. And you, like, flinched. You shouted some nonsense about elephants and then Mateo breaks off laughing at the memory. And then you tried to fucking make a break for it. But you tripped over the chair. You squawked like a chicken. Literally, bro. Literally, bro. Well, go on. And you broke Hank's favorite glass, which he will make you pay for. Elephants? I felt a little bad for laughing, seeing how you cracked your head and all. A grin splits his face. Shit was funny, though. It's on tape, too. I can play it back for you. Let's not. But Mateo's already shifted his attention to the desk. Right about here, he says and taps the key. Black and white footage of the security office appears on the computer monitor. It's a strange feeling, Dave thinks, watching himself on TV. He doesn't remember doing any of this. On screen, Dave drums restlessly on the arms of his chair. He yawns, then sharply pats first one cheek, then the other. That never works, Mateo offers. Trust me, you want to stay awake, you gotta move your legs. He probes Dave's scalp. Jesus, bro, you weren't kidding. You've got a bump already. There's a cut. Feels small, though. Probably won't need stitches. Mateo pours more hydrogen peroxide onto Dave's head. On the monitor, Dave watches himself rest his head on the desk. Almost immediately, he appears to be asleep. Am I talking? He asks, pointing to the screen. Mateo squints at the screen while pressing a fresh gauze pad to Dave's wound. Sure looks it. Probably dreaming about... Shit. What was the name of that elephant in the picture books? Bob? No. Barber? Babar. Dave corrects without thinking. He was French. Yo, this is my favorite part, Mateo says. Watch, look. You can even see my shadow at the outer door. In the footage, Dave abruptly shoves back from the desk. The chair corkscrews away. Sorry. The chair corkscrews away while Dove. Jesus fucking Christ. Dave fumbles the pill bottle from his pocket. Here goes, man. Look at your crazy ass. Cradling the pill bottle in his cupped palms, Dave extends both arms skyward. Mateo cackles. Like you're the Lion King or something, bro. Dave watches his TV self pull the bottle close to his chest and struggle to open it. When he finally manages to pop the cap, this is my favorite part, Mateo howls. You crazy You crazy idiot. Shit belongs on TikTok. I gotta find my memory stick. Dave shakes the bottle at the ceiling. Little green pills, guys are all over the room. He's shouting something. Mateo was right. It's unintelligible nonsense. The word elephant is definitely there. You ever see that one chick who records her sleepwalking episodes? Mateo asks, scoring through the desk for a thumb drive. There's this one where she sleepwalks to the fridge in her footy pajamas, and collects all of her beers, then goes outside and throws them all over the lawn. Whole time she's narrating like she's Richard Attenborough or some shit. David. Mateo glances at Dave. What's that? Richard Attenborough was the crazy billionaire from Jurassic Park, and David Attenborough is the voice of the nature doc. Who gives a shit? Mateo, help me find my pills. Ew, bro, you don't want those pills. Hank walks his nasty boots on this floor. Besides, you don't seem to have any problems sleeping. What do you need them for? You don't know the half of it. Dave spots one of the pills on the chair cushion and scoops it up. Mateo looks on in horror as Dave blows slightly on the green capsule, then dry swallows it. Man, Hank's meaty ass is parked there all day. You're not gonna help me, are you? How much of that shit are you taking? They're Tic Tacs, bro. Yeah, and what do you care? Long as you get more snaps for your Instagram. Mateo clutches his pearls. I care, David, because I can't get you laid tonight if you're slack-jawed and glazed over. He spots a pill and covers it with his boot. Don't take any more. In fact, cough up the one you already... Move your foot. I don't think so. Dave grips Mateo's ankle. Lift up, asshole. Mateo leans forward, grinding the pill into the thin office carpet. God damn it. Dave falls back on his knees. I don't need to get laid. I need sleep. And I don't need a fucking mother. What you need is someone to sleep with, Mateo corrects. I believe I can help with that. Dave plucks a pill from beneath the desk chair, then pops it into his mouth defiantly. You're an animal, Mateo says, watching as Dave chews the pill. Yo, that rich fucker's party is tonight. And we're going, even if I have to drag you around like weekdays with Barney. Weekdays at Bernie's, you lunkhead. And I'm going to hook you up with the first chick I see. She'll be blisteringly hot and really into... Mateo frowns, looks Dave up and down. Guys with bandages. With a frog voice. Who likes elephants. Fuck, are you ever not giving me much to work with? Dave inspects the pill bottle. A few loose pills rattle around inside. He drops the handful he's found on the floor in with him. Look, you go, Dave says. I'll finish out the shift. I'll cover for you even. Nobody's even gonna know we left, Mateo argues. Ain't like anyone ever watches the footage. He waggles the USB stick. At least not most of it. Hand it over. You know what you are? You're a stick, David Torres. A skinny little stick in the funky ass mud. Mateo closes his fingers around the USB stick. I'll make you a deal. You come to the party with me, and when you wake up in the morning, you'll be so thoroughly fucked you won't care when this pops up on YouTube. I come with you. You give me the stick. Or that. Dave sighs. Fuck you. Fine. Right on. Mateo turns to the security camera, thrusts his hips as elegantly as possible, and waves both middle fingers like he's guiding a plane to the tarmac. Yo, Daxalab, 4th of July mofos, we is out. Oh. Okay, The Whale Part 2. In Mateo's Camaro, Dave rests his head on the window and closes his eyes. Yo, no dude. 2 things, Mateo says. 1, you're gonna get blood on my window. I just had this sweet honey detailed. 2, wake the fuck up. I'm tired. I just want to lie down, nope, and sleep until next July 4th. Mateo pats the wheel. This car's on a rail, and that rail goes only one place. Rich motherfucker's party. He reverses out of the parking space, even though the whole lot is empty. Look, I get it. Katie might be there. So what? Girl did you dirty, ghosted your ass. Welcome to the real world. Anyway, it's been 3 weeks. Tonight you'll find some fresh thing and you'll forget all about her. She didn't ghost me. She just needed space, Mateo scoffs. That's what they all say, right before they ghost your ass. It isn't like that. Dave pushes his features around, trying to wake himself up. I'm happy to give her space when she needs. It's a breakup, Dave. You're not giving her space. She made it. She took it. She threw your clueless ass overboard. Whatever, man. Just take me home. I ever tell you about my buddy Spinks? Spinks? Like the pharaohs. You mean Sphinx? That's what I said, Mateo insists. Spinks got the PTSD, my friend. Combat flavor, worst you can get, and in a hella bad way. But what did he do? He didn't lay down and take it. He came home, came right to my door, said, Mateo, do me right. And you know what I did? I took him out, bro. Introduced him to this girl, Sonia. You know what? He's magically fine now. Motherfucker got some booty. He's fine now. Mateo punches Dave's thigh. That's you in 12 hours. Ow. Dave rubs his legs. I don't think you know anything about PTSD. And don't hit me again. Barber Elephant, Mateo sing-songs. Don't murder me in my little green suit. Babar wore the suit. You're wearing your security uniform. Girls love the rent-a-cop vibe. Barber Elephant, you're such a downer, Mateo trills. Barber Elephant, you're bumming me out. The Whale, Part 3. Ooh-wee, my stomach's grumbling. Hey, Dina, how about some hot dogs here in the studio, huh? I'll have one Chicago style, with the pickles. Hey, that's right. If you're just tuning in, I and all of your friends here at KPWG are celebrating this nation's independence all night long, and you're invited. Thanks for sticking it out with me, your old pal Late Night Larry, as we keep this shindig humming. This guy's a joke, Dave grumbles. I can't believe you listen to this. Yo, Larry's a dork, yeah, but he's cool. Sometimes he has this ex-Navy guy who calls in, rants about all sorts of conspiracy shit. Dude is legit crazy. What kind of conspiracies? Like how Edwards Air Force Base is built on top of an alien city. Oh, you mean for real crazy, Dave says. Alien city? Jesus. Mateo takes a corner too fast in the Camaro, throwing Dave hard against the passenger door. Yo, you like that little drifting action? I don't think you know what drifting is, Dave complains. Shit, bro, this baby glides. Dave slides down in the seat. The throbbing in his skull has abated, but the sleeping pills aren't working. The last few months have been a perfect storm. Not only are the nightmares getting worse, but he's also developed a serious tolerance to the one thing that's helped him sleep. Maybe Mateo's right. He just needs to move his legs. We're coming up on 4:15 a.m. here, and it just occurs to me it's a little early for hot dogs. What's that, Ern? It's never too early for hot dogs? Is there such a thing as a breakfast hot dog? I could go for a... Mateo swings the Camaro up the steep driveway of a 3-story mission-style house. Shit, driveway parking. Not a good sign. Party lights are strung from the roof to the hedge surrounding the property, illuminating a perfectly coiffed lawn strewn with crumpled red cups, a single lonely flip-flop, a forgotten purse, an overturned keg. Music swells from open windows, but there isn't a soul in sight. I knew we should have bailed on Dax earlier, Mateo says, yanking the handbrake. Yanking the handbrake. As they get out of the car, he says, How do you know this rich fool anyway? Randy? Just high school. The heavy oak front door stands open. Mateo goes through, but Dave pauses to grind out a still smoldering cigarette on the welcome mat. Inside, the party is past its sell-by date. In the sunken living room, a scrawny guy with a pile of dreads tucked into a beaded cap is passed out, still bent over a cloudy bong. Scrabbling sounds come from the kitchen, but when they investigate, they find only a slender Dalmatian licking the crusty dishes in an open dishwasher. Well, this is a bust, Mateo grumbles. Snap! Dave Torres in the house, y'alls. Dave and Mateo turn toward the voice and find Abbott and Costello leaning on a wet bar. The short, wide one holds his arms out, grinning broadly. The tall, angular one regards them coolly. You know these clowns? Mateo stage whispers. Unfortunately, Dave lifts a hand half-heartedly. Connor, what's up? Connor and the stringy guy wander over. You missed a hell of a hoedown, my man, Connor says, cradling an open bottle of Don Julio. He holds his free fist out for a bump, but Dave leaves him hanging. Whatever, Holmes. You missed Rands, you know. Lightweight bitch is already asleep. Holmes? Mateo mouths to Dave. Dave shrugs. Beer's in the fridge, Connor says, and Mateo excuses himself to scrounge up drinks. When he returns, he knocks 2 bottles open against the counter and passes one to Dave. This is my homie, Gus from Huntington Beach, Connor goes on. Say sup, Gus. Sup, Gus says, arms folded. Gus from Huntington, Mateo says, regarding the man skeptically. So, how do you two know Dave? Man, it's been a minute since high school, Connor says, ignoring Mateo. You livin'? You workin'? He looks Dave up and down, noticing the uniform. Torres, he reads from Dave's badge. Leon, he reads from Mateo's. His eyes narrow. You gentlemen cops now? They rent a cops, Gus offers. No offense. Night watchman, Dave shrugs. It's a paycheck. Connor nods sagely. Respect, Holmes. Can't be easy with your disability and all. He turns to Gus. See, my man, Dave here suffers from. He snaps his finger. The world out of reach. What'd you call it again? I want to say, like, crazy sleep, but that ain't PC, right? Parasomnia, Dave answers. Parasomnia. Right. To Gus, Connor explains. In high school, man, this guy was a freak. This one time, freshman year, I think we had a. Nobody needs to hear this story, Connor. Whoa, it's cool, Connor says, palms raised. But he continues anyway. We had this all night rager. It was a sleepover. We were watching some movie. What movie was it we were watching? It wasn't a movie, Dave says flatly. It was Noah's best of Saturday Night Live tapes. Gus's eyebrows rise appreciatively. What era are we talking here? Hartman? Lovitz? It doesn't matter what era, you fucking nerd, Connor says. I'm just saying the original cast years are the only good ones. Gus nods, totally mellow. Belushi is God. Point is, Gus, we all wake up in the middle of the night because this fool, Connor whacks Dave's chest with the back of his hand, pissed his sleeping bag, then started screaming and bashing his head on the floor. You want me to shut this pencil dick up? Mateo glances at Dave. It would be my pleasure. Whoa now, Officer Leon. We're just reminiscing. Then Connor's face shifts, and he turns to Dave, eyes bright. Hey, you and Katie, right? Man, I heard something about how that went down. Sorry, Holmes. She was here, a couple hours ago. Was Katie the one doing body shots? Was Katie the one doing body shots? Gus asked. Right on the table over. No, dumb shit. Doesn't matter. Katie's the pretty one. Connor holds a hand above his own head. Real tall, solid junk in the junkie? Gus clarifies. Dave takes a sudden step into Gus's airspace. Say it again. Call her that again. Mateo tightens like a spring beside him. Yo, what? Connor cries. Whoa, Holmes, whoa. We all comrades here, see? He slides a hand between Dave and Gus. Chill, yo. You don't want to piss yours. Mateo stumbles unconvincingly, splashing his beer on Connor. Oh, shit, Mateo says. He scoops up a pile of damp party napkins and dabs forcefully at Connor's wrinkled Kurt Cobain sweater. Shit, Holmes. Is this Angora? Fucking. Connor takes a halting step backwards. Now, Chevy Chase. He could fall like a pro. Gus observes, eyes glassy. This guy, he telegraphed his fall. That shit was weak, bro. I am so sorry, Mateo bubbles. I swear, Connor, I did not mean to do that. I have this condition, see, where anytime I'm close to a total douchebag, I burn real hot, see? Startling himself as much as everyone, Connor plants one foot and shoves Mateo hard. Dave feels all of Mateo's coiled energy unwind and instinctively takes a step back. Gus does the same, taking the Don Julio from Connor and hugging it to his chest. It's like that, huh, Mateo says. We going, fool? Holmes, I will motherfucking murk you. Connor's voice cracks. He clears his throat. Fucking murk, Holmes. Oh, we're going, Mateo says, passing his beer to Dave. Let's go, you silly ass clown bitch. Oh, Jesus Christ. Connor lunges. Mateo steps aside, captures Connor in a half Nelson. You're gonna cool it, yeah? He says right in Connor's ear. Gus, you want to tell your boy to cool his punk ass? Cool your punk, Gus, deadpans, ass. Your punk ass. Connor struggles, but Mateo keeps him in a tight lock, until Connor manages to get a foot on the wall, then the other. He pistons backwards, driving both men out of the dining room and into the living room. The sunken living room. They hit the floor and separate, both wheezing. Mateo, man, Dave says. Let's just go, all right? Connor pushes upright first. Ooh, did Officer Leon get a boo-boo? Mateo rolls over, then springs at Connor like a receiver coming off the line. The two of them crash into the L-shaped leather couch, which scrapes shrilly across the terracotta tile. On the other sofa, the unconscious guy in the beaded hat pitches forward. Dave leaps, but he's too late. The bong hits the floor first, exploding with a watery bang. Couch guy follows, plunging face first into broken glass. He doesn't put up his hands to break his fall. His nose hits the tile with an awful crunch. The guy lies prone and bleeding, unmoving. Mateo shoves Connor away. While Mateo vaults the couch, Connor pushes his stringy hair back and smooths his sweater, breathing hard. Bro, you alright? Mateo asks, sliding through the shattered glass to scoop the guy up and roll him onto his back. You hear me? Time downshifts for Dave. Connor backs away from the scene in slow-mo. Mateo administers first aid in a field of broken glass for the second time that night. What the hell was he thinking, letting Mateo talk him into a party? He should be home, staring at the ceiling, trying to sleep. Instead, he's here, in some yuppie's house, with its $20,000 sofa, with its floor-to-ceiling windows, with its rare art. Dave's eyes fall on a painting, just behind Mateo. A jungle scene, the undergrowth parting to reveal a hidden glade, warm with sunlight. Two small figures glowing in the glare stretch their arms out to something large and ominous looming in the shadow of vines and twisted kapok trees. Elephant. Elephant. Beware the Dave, this guy isn't breathing, Mateo shouts, and the world snaps to speed again. I didn't do shit, Connor says, now behind Dave. What did he take? Dave asks, turning around. Nothing, Holmes, just... Connor shoots a frantic look at Gus. Just weed, right? Just grocery store weed, Gus says, unruffled. Just harmless fucking weed, Connor echoes. I'm not his Holmes keeper, Holmes. The amount of times this motherfucker says Holmes is pissing me off. I'm about to just stop saying it. Anyway. Mateo rolls the stranger over. What's his name? I don't know, he's a stranger to me, Gus says, patting his pockets. He finds a lighter, then looks around for a cigarette. Name, Mateo repeats. Douchebag, his name. Connor stutters. Tony, it's Tony. Tony, hey, yo, Tony, you with me? Mateo brushes glass from Tony's pallid face. Wincing, he tugs a shard out of Tony's lip. Blood trickles down the man's chin. Someone needs to call 911, Dave says. 1, 2, 3. Mateo counts beginning chest compressions. Dave watches as Mateo delivers 30 sharp presses, then leans in and breathes into Tony's slack mouth. He starts again. 1, 2, 3. Connor and Gus exchange a look. Connor edges back a step. Don't do it, Dave warns, putting down the beers. He fumbles for his phone, nearly drops it, then hits the emergency icon. To Connor, he says, Bitch, at least go get Randy. Mateo starts counting out compressions again. He's asleep, Dave, Connor protests. That would be so rude. Dave listens to the phone a second, then swears. 911 is fucking busy. That, Gus says, lighted half cigarette dangling from his lips, is not normal. No, Gus, it most certainly isn't normal, Dave snaps. Try again, Mateo says, breathlessly compressing Tony's chest. Dave dials again, switches the phone to speaker. All sound drains out of the living room for a moment. Then the pulse of a busy signal leaks from the phone. Connor, Dave yells. Randy, wake him up. Bro, let the dude chill. He threw a bangin' party. He deserves a good night's sleep. Anyway, he's with Beck. Motherfuck, where is he? Show me. Connor shrugs, then points at the staircase in the foyer. I don't know what room, though. Biggest one, probs. Doors are generally the same size, Gus observes. A door isn't larger or smaller based on the room size. To Dave, he says, you'll have to open each door to see if the room on the other side is big or little. Shut the fuck up, Gus. To Mateo, Dave says, be right back. I'm going for help. He sprints up the stairs, shouting Randy's name. Mateo glances up from his work to see Connor backing away. Bitch, where are you going? My man here has a misdemeanor, Gus says. Can't really be hanging around when the fuzz arrives. We regret we have to leave, but this was a fine party, officer. He snaps the clonic salute. We do appreciate the invitation. Yo, Mateo bellows, watching Connor and Gus disappear through the back door. Fucking idiots. Dave has no luck locating Randy on the second floor. He climbs to the third, which reveals itself to be a warren of heavy oak doors and iron hinges. Feels like a goddamn luxury hotel, not someone's house, Dave thinks, throwing open door after door. Several empty bedrooms, a library, a home theater, and 4 bathrooms later, he finds a bedroom that's actually occupied. Randy? Dave calls into the darkness. I'm coming in, man. He throws a light switch, then startles at the sight of his own reflection in a glossy bank of windows. Keep it together, Dave. Hey, it's real shitty of me to wake you, I know, but we've got a crisis downstairs, Dave says loudly. In the center of the room is a large 4-poster bed. Through the gauzy canopy, Dave sees 2 people, seemingly undisturbed by the blazing lights, cuddled close beneath the sheets. Randy, he repeats. Facing Dave is Becca, Randy's longtime girlfriend. Eyes closed, lips parted, a smear of pale lipstick on the bone-white pillowcase behind her. Pillowcase. Behind her, one arm loosely drapes over her waist, is Randy, face buried in Becca's dark hair. Dave tries to ignore the twinge in his chest. He used to sleep, he used to sleep just like this with Katie, the smell of her lavender shampoo guiding him into sleep. He always slept better at her apartment, in her bed. It was a world where his nightmares didn't exist. Until they did. Yo, Randy, Dave says again. You really gotta get up, man. It's Dave. He reaches through a part in the canopy and shakes Randy's shoulder. Randy's skin is cool and firm. Randy? Dave shakes Randy again. Man, don't play, wake up. Part 5. Mateo slumped on the couch, cradling a fresh beer when Dave returns. He looks up, shakes his head. This guy, Tony, he's dead. Dave finishes. He sniffs the air. Do you smell anything? Something funny? That Connor prick smelled like my nephew. Mateo wrinkles his nose. He's 13 months old. He's got so much skin it folds up, like the Michigan man. Michelin? Dave corrects. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like the Michigan man. Michelin? Dave corrects absently. He trails his fingers across the couch, still sniffing. You gotta, clean inside those folds, you know. Little kids grow this funky mold in there. My sister, she calls it neck cheese, Mateo shudders. Shit reeks. Connor smells like neck cheese. Fucking smells on me now, too. You smell gas? The hell you mean gas? I mean, Tony, Dave says. He pulls his shirt over his nose and mouth. Tony's dead, you said, and upstairs. What's upstairs? I'm saying maybe there's a gas leak or... Wait, whoa. Mateo twists around on the couch, sloshing beer onto the leather. You're saying there... That's what I'm saying. Mateo lunges off the sofa and disappears into the guest bathroom. Dave can hear him banging open cabinet doors. These goddamn animals don't have any hand towels, Mateo calls out. Use your shirt. Mateo comes out of the bathroom, the neck of his undershirt pulled over his face. What do we do now? Try 911 again? Your turn. Mateo dials with his free hand while Dave searches the first floor. Dave finds what he's looking for in a second living room behind an overturned Eames lounger. Still busy, Mateo shouts from the other room. Dave drags a parachute-sized curtain to the sunken living room. Help me get him on this, he says, unfurling the fabric on the stained carpet. Fuck no, Mateo shakes his head. I am not burying these people in their own curtains. That's cold. We're not burying anybody, you hillbilly, Dave says. If 911 won't send someone here, we'll deliver the bodies to them. Mateo's eyes widen. Motherfucker, my car is not a hearse. Grab his feet, Dave says, lacing his arms through Tony's armpits. I just had her detailed, man. Part 6. Hey, it's Katie. Maybe I'll call you back. Wind shears over the Camaro's open windows. Dave can barely hear the tone when it sounds. Katie, he cries. Katie, hey, listen. It's me. Listen. Did you take anything at the party tonight? I swear I'm not trying to be your... Just, look, if you did, call 911 right now. I'm not trying to scare you, but... It's busy, remember? Mateo interjects. Fuck, right. Look, just call me. Dave goes on. We were just there. Bad shit went down. Katie, I don't know... Dave thinks drugs were laced with... Dave thinks the drugs were laced with something, Mateo yells. Just call me back. Please. Please. The 3 curtain-wrapped bodies shift in the back seat as Mateo takes a curve too fast. Someone's skull thwacks against the passenger window. Swear to God, Dave, if I have to rub blood out of my seats, just drive. Roger that, drill sergeant. Whatever you say, sir. I'm calling her again, Dave says, tapping the screen. He grabs the dash as Mateo whips through another turn. Pick up, honey. Come on, baby. Pick up. Part 7. The red letters of the ER sign slide across the Camaro's windshield. The tires smoke as Mateo skids to a stop in the ambulance lane. Air escapes one of the passengers in a hollow gurgle. They sound like my toilet after my upstairs neighbor takes a big... Mateo, let's get them out of here, yeah? But Mateo's bent over the wheel, squinting at the hospital doors. Something's off here, bro. Yeah, we've got 3... Beep! Mateo leans on the horn. Cool it. Dave throws open his door, but Mateo puts a hand on his arm. Something's off, he repeats. When have you ever seen a hospital this... chill? Look around, man. Dave climbs out of his seat into the drawn air. There's no activity on the sidewalks. He can't see anyone moving around inside the lighted building. It's early, he offers. Not one patient waiting for help. Not one nurse grabbing a smoke. Man, I've been to this ER before. It's never a ghost town. He lays on the horn. Beep! Knock that shit off. Exactly. Someone should be running out here to tell me to cut that shit out. Shit's sick here, man. This is not good. Dave bends back into the car and wrestles with the passenger seat. Then fucking help me get them out of the car and inside, he grunts. I gotta check on Katie. The seat doesn't release. The hell's wrong with your car? Go easy, bro. She's sensitive, Mateo warns. Part 8. Wow, they're really going through the parts here. Jesus Christ. Mateo's right. Dave notices right away. The lobby of the emergency room is deserted. Nobody is manning the admittance desk. On every wall, strobe lights flash and sync, giving the whole room a horror movie vibe. Mateo twists his hair in his fist. Shit's fucked, man. I'm not staying here. Ah! Hi, welcome in, Sludge. Hopefully you had a good stream. We are currently doing Tales with Time. We are reading The Edge of Sleep. Also, thank you for the follow. Oh gosh, Ashinto6? I want to say. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Thank you for the follow and thank you for the raid. Yes, we are currently reading the book The Edge of Sleep. I'm not a professional reader, so... oh, thanks, Sharp. Thank you. I am... if you guys have to run and raid, that's completely okay. I totally get it. Also, but if you would like to stick around, that's also good. We just started this story, so... that's perfect. Okay. But yeah, so I'm not shrimping. I've never shrimped ever in my life, Sharp. Listen. But yes, anyway, if you want to snuggle down or if you're already sleeping, I'll try not to be too loud. We're just reading our story. We did just start, like literally we're in the first part. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. You're going to work? Oh no. That's no fun. Sorry to hear that. But I'm going to go ahead and continue reading. If you want to stay, that's completely fine. If you got to raid and run, go for it. From vulture to time goddess, I call bullshit on shrimping. Okay, I'm leaned over just a little bit reading, but that's because I'm looking down at the book. I have to shrimp just a little bit, okay? Just a little tiny bit. But I'll try and straighten up. All right. Part 8. Oh, I already read that part. I'll just reread it. Part 8. Mateo's right. Dave notices right away. The lobby of the emergency room is deserted. Nobody is manning the admittance desk. On every wall, strobes flash and sync, giving the whole room a horror movie vibe. Mateo twists his hair in his fist. Shit's fucked, man. I'm not staying here. Wait, Dave says. Hey, a little help out here? Mateo yells, pounding his palm on the admittance counter. He shoves off the Oh, my Jesus Christ, I cannot read. He shoves off and paces back and forth, venturing near a pair of automatic doors. Printed on the glass is a warning. Surgery wing. No admittance. Hospital personnel only. Mateo takes a big step forward. The doors hiss open. The corridor yawns ahead of him, receding into the distance like a bottomless pit. Help! Mateo hollers, his voice bouncing off the walls. Need some help down here. Shush, Dave says. You hear that? Mateo cocks his head. Someone's crying. Let's go. Dude, the sign. Yeah, something tells me ain't no security waiting to throw us out, Mateo says. Come on, I want to get those people out of my car as much as you do. They head into the corridor. Along the way, they pass little half rooms to the right and left. Dave pauses in front of one, then pulls back its curtain. There's someone in the bed. A white sheet has been drawn over their face. Oh, fuck me, Mateo breathes. He roots himself to the floor and watches as Dave throws back curtain after curtain. Almost every bed contains a dead body. Mateo, Dave breathes. I think you were right. Something really bad's going down. Part 9. They find the source of the sobs deeper in the corridor, and around a corner where the hallway opens up into cluttered nurse's station. A stout middle-aged woman is bent over the desk, face buried in her hands, shoulders shaking. Ma'am, Dave says gently, can you help us? Yo, what the fuck is happening here? Mateo demands shakily. The nurse doesn't look up. It's as though she doesn't hear them at all. Mateo leans over the desk. Lady, come on, you gotta... Doesn't matter. Dave put his hand flat against Mateo's chest. Listen. Shouts echo from deeper in the building. Mateo snaps into motion, and Dave trots in his wake. At the end of another hallway, Mateo shoulders through a pair of swinging double doors, then pulls up short. Dave nearly collides with him, then stops when he sees what Mateo's found. A large room lined with storage bins and shelves has been transformed into a morgue. Shoved along the west wall are gurneys bearing zippered white bags, human-sized bags, arranged how the fuck do you say this word? Arranged half half oh my god. I can't. I'm gonna type it. And someone tell me how to spell it out. Hold on. Okay. I know the word, but my brain just won't. Yeah, my brain just won't say it correctly. Half. Oh my god. Hap. Okay, Hap has. Hap has. Hap. Haphazardly. Yeah. Thank you, Sharp. Thank you very much. Where was I? Shit. Oh, as though they were rolled into the room and released to drift where they may. Which is exactly what happens next. An orderly in a white smock bangs into the room through an adjacent door. Back first, then drags a fresh gurney into the room, pivots, and releases it. Now use it in a sentence? Okay, I'll reread that one sentence. Okay, human-sized bags, arranged haphazardly, as though they were rolled into the room and released, to drift where they may. Which is exactly what happens next. An orderly in a white smock bangs into the room through an adjacent door, back first, then drags a fresh gurney into the room, pivots, and releases it, sending it spinning across the floor. Thank you, Sharp. It dumps into another gurney, and both roll in separate directions. The orderly, not pausing to admire his handiwork, disappears through the door again. Dave exchanges a look with Mateo. They follow. In the next room, they find a nurse frantically working a respirator unit, trying to resuscitate a gray-skinned man in a baseball cap. Across the room, a mustached doctor in a knotted blue surgeon's cap, a mask hanging uselessly around his neck, is backed against the wall by a nurse in navy scrubs. She thrusts her fingers against his chest. His hands go up reflexively in protest. She's yelling something about backup staff. I'm having flashbacks, Mateo stares blankly at the chaotic scene. Dios mío, he crosses himself. Excuse me, Dave says loudly. I don't know why I whispered that as I read Dave says loudly. Let me try that. Excuse me, Dave says loudly. And when nobody looks up, Dave waves his arm. Quick recap. Okay, hold on. So we started reading it. We're still in like the technically chapter 1, but basically the main character Dave and his buddy Mateo work as night guards. They leave the night guard station to go to a party. They get to the party, find out everyone's pretty much left. There's only like 2 people still there. Some dude named Connor and Gus. They find a dude who is dead, and then they go to find the owner of the house to find them dead. They take the dead people to the hospital and realize that there's a shit ton of dead people at the hospital, and now they're trying to figure out why and what's going on, basically. And they're like, they're finally finding more people alive in the hospital. But that's where we're at right now. Navy Scrubs turns toward Dave. The surgeon, seeing an opportunity, yanks the cap from his head and slides out of the room. I don't know how you got back here, but you can't be here, Scrubs says. Out. No, you don't understand. We've got out, she repeats. I'm serious. You can't be back here. Off you go. She shoos them towards an exit. What happened here? Mateo asks. His skin has drained of color. Come with me, Scrubs says again firmly. Out. Out. Dave scans her uniform, spots her name tag. Look, Linda, we have an emergency. This is an ER still, right? Linda sighs. She loops her hair in her fist and knots it loosely behind her head. Yes, of course it is. She begins. But then she notices Mateo sag and lunges, getting an arm behind him. Whoa there, all right, buddy, let's... He said something about flashbacks, Dave offers. He just needs some water or coffee. It's been a long night, Linda finishes. Yeah, tell me about it. She guides Mateo out of the room, and Dave falls in behind them. To Mateo, she says, all right, sir. Hang tight there. She leads them back to the nurse's station, then drops Mateo into a spare wheelchair. Sit. There you go. Then Linda turns to the desk and says, Brittany, come over here, would you? The weeping woman wipes her eyes, then pumps hand sanitizer onto her palms and wrings them out. She trots over listlessly. Britt, this is. Linda looks at Dave for help. His name's Mateo. Britt, Mateo. He needs your help right now. Copy, Brittany says. She sniffles once, draws a deep breath, and seems to transform in front of Dave's eyes. Her eyes are still red, but her shoulders square, and her voice takes on that familiar caregiver's tone. Mateo? Hi there. I'm Brittany. Let's have a look at you, huh? Satisfied, Linda takes Dave by the elbow and walks him a few feet away. All right, she says. Let's hear it. What are you and your friend doing in an off-limits area? Dave maps the seriousness of her expression and says, It's easier if I show you. Come with me, please. Part 10. Dave sits on the curb, listening once again to Katie's voicemail greeting. He hangs up and shoves his phone back into his pocket. Linda studies the shrouded bodies in the back seat. Why are they wrapped in what is that, a duvet? A very expensive drapery. And you found them? Like this? Dave's head suddenly weighs 60 pounds. A powerful yawn rises from his belly. He rubs his eyes with the heel of his palm, drops his chin to his chest. Sir? Linda snaps her fingers twice at him. I'm up. What? I said you just found them this way? Well, not in the car, Dave answers, squinching his eyes tight and blinking hard to clear the cobwebs. And not in the curtain, but dead. Yes, they were all dead. Linda tugs a corner of one body's wrapping. There's blood on this. It's a really long story. You understand? We'll have to notify the authorities, yes? She turns away from the bodies. That's non-negotiable. They'll want to ask you and your friend questions, and they'll probably want more details than you just gave me. She runs her fingers through her hair, pulls the knots free, relashes it in place. If they answer, that is. It'd be a relief, Dave says. We tried already, 911. Circuit's down? Busy signal. Same thing, Linda says. She pats her scrubs, then frowns. Shit. Do you have a cigarette? I don't smoke, Dave says. You didn't ask me about the long story. It's been a very long night, Linda says, dropping her hands into her waist pockets and leaning against the Camaro. Forget it. Life of an ER nurse. Your friend, he's in shock, right? That's not exactly how shock works. You know him well? We work together. So that's a yes, I guess. You said flashbacks before. Did he serve? He did. I don't know much about it. Air Force, I think. That helps, Linda says. She pushes off the car. I need to let Brett know. You think he'll be okay? What I think is you ought to find a seat in the lobby, she says. You look pretty wrecked yourself. Maybe grab a little shut-eye if you can. I'll come find you when your friend's squared away. I just leave them? Dave nods at the car. I mean, cars in the ambulance lane? You didn't even say anything. Linda releases a weary sigh. What was your name? Dave Torres. Dave Torres, she says gently. My team is understaffed tonight. We've lost a few patients we didn't plan to lose. Looks like more than a few. What I saw in there. What happened? I shouldn't have said anything. Listen, you look like you're about to fall over. Linda puts her hand on Dave's back and steers him toward the sliding doors. He feels exhaustion in every step as he crosses the room. He could crumple and doze right there or right here in the middle of the floor. The strobes pulse like a nightclub. I'll turn those off, Linda says. Grab a chair against that wall. They're softest, I hear. I'll come find you soon. Part 11. Dad, I told you. You have to stay off that leg. Dr. Washington was very clear about that. No walking on your own. Not yet. Dave blinks in surprise. He breaks away from the lobby He breaks away from the lobby TV and its futuristic vacuum cleaner infomercial. While he's been spacing out, oh my gosh, let me just refresh. While he's been spacing out, the lobby has gained a few new guests. A young woman wearing a t-shirt that reads, "We all deserve love," sits beside an old man with wispy white hair and skin like baked leather. The old man wears an elaborate mechanical brace on his left knee. The woman, his daughter, Dave wonders, wears a worn-down expression, not unlike Dave's own. The old guy struggles to stand up, reaching with bony fingers for his walker. The woman tugs him down again with not much effort. The guy looks as if he weighs 80 pounds. Dave realizes. The woman notices Dave watching. He doesn't like hospitals, she offers with a shrug. I don't trust anyone who does, Dave says. Perhaps noticing that his daughter is distracted, the old guy lunges again for his walker. All right, Dad. All right. The woman reaches into her purse, producing a bronze flask. I hope you don't mind, she says to Dave. It's the only thing that helps him relax. As long as you offer us some, Mateo says, shuffling into the lobby on Brittany's arm. Dave leaves up. You're freshly hydrated? Mateo asks. Full of fluids? Why, yes, Dave. Yes, I am. He waves a sheet of paper. I also have an appointment to see someone named Dr. Corning Bormerstein on Tuesday. His brow wrinkles as he inspects the paper again. No, Corning Bommerstein. Did you actually want... The young woman asks, still holding out the flask. Keep it for your old man, Dave says. My friend doesn't need it right now. Brittany says he definitely does not. However, she notices the woman's expression change. All right, kidding. I'm on duty. Just don't let anyone else see that, all right? To Mateo, she says, a couple Advil when you get home, a couple more when you wake up. Get some good rest. Mateo thanks Brittany, who disappears into the personnel corridor again. The young woman passes the flask to her father. Only if you agree to stay put, she says. I just need to close my eyes for 2 godforsaken minutes. Part 12. Back in the storage room, Brittany wrestles with the traffic jam of gurneys, arranging them as neatly as she can to make space for more. Just in time. The orderly returns, pushing a new one. No, Brittany says, a hand over her heart. That's not... The orderly reads his clipboard. Arjun, Chakrabarty? Oh, damn it. Poor Mr. Chakrabarty. Brittany's eyes well up. He was just so sweet. Please don't start crying again, the orderly says. Across the room, Linda yanks her gloves off, balls them up, and sinks them in the waste bin. She turns to help Brittany, but movement catches her eye. Dr. Gordon emerges from the staff corridor, tugging his windbreaker on over street clothes. Britt, Linda says, I'll be right back. She follows Gordon around a corner. Not a word, Dr. Gordon says over his shoulder, not stopping. You're not leaving, Linda demands. I made an announcement, Gordon says, turning around. He smooths his mustache with his thumbs, something Linda's noticed he does when distressed. I made an announcement. You'd have heard of it if you hadn't disappeared. I was outside with that patient's friend, she says. You wouldn't believe what's in the back seat of there. I've dismissed everyone, Gordon interrupts. You should head home, too. Wait, you... What the hell, Jack? I've ordered the staff, Gordon repeats more slowly, to go home. In the middle of a level 1 MCI? You're insane. Are you insane? Nobody said anything about a mass casualty incident, Linda. Jesus. That pile of bodies back there says otherwise, Jack. Linda's fists ball against her hips. What else could it be? Those 2 guys we just helped, there are dead people in their back seat from outside the hospital. Enough! Gordon kicks the floor, leaving a short black scuff mark. We don't know anything, and nobody's coming to help. I can't get Dr. Ligari on the phone, or anyone from the board, for that matter. The emergency lines are all down. Rose has been back there, trying them all night. Every time, same thing. No answer. Busy signals, police, fire department, the goddamn CDC, the FBI, nothing. Well, shit, Jack. It sure sounds like an MCI to me. Go home, Linda, Gordon repeats. He zips his windbreaker, smooths his hair, and turns on his heel. There's nothing we can do. Santa Mira is the only hospital in 30 miles, Jack. We can't just... You want to stay? Stay. Gordon pauses at the exit. Rose tried my house too, okay? 5 times. Nobody answered. We can't function without a doctor, Jack. We just lost 19 patients in less than a full shift. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make sure Jim and the girls are okay. Gordon offers her a weak shrug, then pushes through the door. Coward! Linda screeches after him. The door falls shut again. God fucking damn it! Linda kicks the wall, denting it. I don't believe this. Don't believe what? Brittany stands at the end of the short hallway, holding Mr. Chakrabarty's clipboard. Jack just... Linda stops and takes a deep, cleansing breath. Then she clasps her hands together as if she's arrived at a decision. Brittany, listen, don't ask. Jack just bailed. He ditched us. Everyone's gone. Lynn, I've been on since yesterday, Brittany says, shaking her head. Morning. I'm a literal zombie right now. There's no shift change coming. It's you and me, Britt. That's it. Well, maybe the orderly. What's his name? Paulo? Pietro. No, he's gone too. Of course he is. Lynn, this is a nightmare. I keep going on autopilot. Her lip quivers. If I stop for a second and think about what's happening tonight, I just can't. I can't. Linda turns and shoves through the exit door. When it falls shut behind her, she thrusts her fist toward the ground and screams. No words, just emotion. At the horizon, the sky has imperceptibly begun to lighten. Linda stays where she is until her breathing is controlled. Then she turns and goes back inside. Brittany is still there. Look, Britt says. 10 minutes. Give me a quick 10. Let me close my eyes, splash my face. Linda embraces the older nurse. Thank you. Oh, God, thank you, Brittany. 10 minutes, Brittany repeats, words muffled by Linda's hair. Take 20, Linda says. We've got this, right? We've got this. I hope. Part 13. Okay, hold on. Before I continue to part 13, for those of you who, like, I know what's happening. Like, I know why people are dying. Like, it literally says it, like, on the back of the book. Like, so I like, am dreading the fact that some of these characters are, like, about to die. I just know they are. So I'm like just slowly dreading it. And I'm like, every time one of them's like, I just need a rest for like 10 minutes. I'm like, no, don't do it. Anyway, part 13. Know what I hate? Are we talking everyday hate or epic, bring the universe to its knees hate? The latter, Mateo says. No, it's not a spoiler. It literally says it on the back of the book, like it's in the description of the book. Hi, Dip. Welcome in. We're doing Tales with Time. We're reading The Edge of Sleep, so get cozy and listen in. Are we talking about everyday hate or epic bring the universe to its knees hate? The latter, Mateo says. Spiders, climate change. I hate little balls of lint in your socks, splinters. I hate when someone offers you a drink, Mateo says emphatically, and someone else declines it for you. Mateo, it's called consent, bro. It was probably Rutgers Mill in that flask, man. I saved you. Mateo chews his lip thoughtfully. Yeah, old guys do love the cheap shit. Why is that, you think? Then he stops. Fuck, why are we still here? Because your hearse needs unloading. Linda's coming back to help. Linda? The other nurse. The boss lady one. Oh, Mateo's eyebrows go up. The scary one. The lady was right about the whiskey, Dave says, nodding toward the pair. The old man's chin is dipped to his chest. A string of spittle hangs from his lip. Knocked the old dude right out. She's out cold too. Bet you wish you could sleep like her. Wherever you're at, just bam, asleep. It's a gift I don't have. I can see the flask from here. Don't do it. You just got jacked up on electrolytes or whatever. But it's right there. Watch TV, bro, Dave says, giving Mateo's knee a grandfatherly pat. Mateo watches the infomercial. 10 seconds pass. He says, fuck it, I can't take it. And Crouch walks across the lobby. Don't do it, Dave warns. What if it isn't Rutgers, though? Mateo whispers back. It might be Pappy O'Daniels in there. Pappy Van Winkle's, Dave corrects. Man, don't steal our dad's booze. Mateo slides the flask out of the woman's half-open purse, keeping his eyes on her, and the old man the whole time. He unscrews the flask slowly, then takes a sip. His nose wrinkles, then smooths out again. Not bad, he mouths to Dave. First of all, I would not be putting my mouth on the goddamn same fucking spout of alcohol that some old dude put his mouth on that I don't know. First of all. Anyway. Dave waves both hands at him. Shut up. Mateo takes a long last swig, then replaces the cap and slides the flask back into the purse. He crawls away, then pauses, a perplexed expression crumpling his brow. Whatever you're about to do, don't, Dave mutters to himself. Mateo goes up on his knees and waves one hand in front of the woman's face. Mateo, Dave warns. Mateo waves in front of the old guy's face, too. Then, to Dave's horror, he snaps his fingers loudly beside the guy's ear. He claps his palm an inch from the woman's nose. God damn it, Mateo, Dave says, no longer whispering. Mateo looks toward Dave, eyes wide. He circles the woman's wrist with his fingers, lifts her arm, then releases it. It thuds heavily to the seat. The woman doesn't stir. Maldito, oh my gosh, I can't say it. Maldito Cristo? Mateo exclaims. I'm assuming Mateo is Hispanic because he's saying a lot of Hispanic words that I don't know. Mateo exclaims. Dave! Mateo presses two fingers to the woman's neck. Dave leaps up and rushes to help. He repeats the gesture for the old man, whispers like sandpaper against his hand. I got nothing. Her too, Mateo says. Fuck me, they were just She just... Mateo scrambles upright. Help, he cries out. Scary nurse, we need some fucking help out here. He activates the sliding door and breaks into a run, shouting as he disappears. Dave sinks to the floor, looking up at the deceased father and daughter. I don't understand, he mumbles. To her, he says, I'm so sorry. You just wanted to sleep. You look so tired. The woman was exhausted. It had been stamped in the web lines around her eyes. Mateo explodes into the back room, Linda on his heels. Over there! Linda takes in the scene but pauses, gripping Mateo's shoulders. Listen to me. You've got to sit down. Right here, okay? There you go. If you can't breathe, your head goes between your legs. Understand? Or between your knees. I don't think you could stick your hand or your head between your legs. Could you? I don't know why I'm trying to imagine that. Moving on. With Mateo settled, Linda trots over to Dave and takes a knee. She repeats the test Dave and Mateo previously performed, pressing 2 fingers to the dead pair's necks. Satisfied, she turns to Dave. Where he expects to see accusation, he sees only resignation. You're not going to ask why there's so many dead people around me tonight, he says. Listen, every single person in this hospital who doesn't have a toe tag has one hell of a body count tonight, Linda says. No, I'm not going to ask. Mateo says, Guys, oh fuck, they both drank the whiskey. What if it was poison? His eyes fly wider. Dave, goddammit, Dave, I fucking drank her poison whiskey. Mateo, Linda says, voice patient and warm. She holds one hand at her chest, moving it up, then down. Breathe in, out. You see? Head between your knees. To Dave's surprise, Mateo obeys, still muttering to himself. Linda slides the flask out of the woman's purse, unscrews it, and sniffs it. Smells like Rutgers Mill, she says. It's bad, but it's not poison. I knew it, Dave says. He watches Mateo a moment, then says, Look, I have an idea. About? I don't like it, but all 5 of these people... He pauses, scrutinizing Linda's eyes, trying to gauge how much she might believe him. He forges on. They might have all been asleep. Everybody sleeps in a waiting room. No, check it, Dave says. 2 of those people in my friend's car were in their bed. The other one was... And then these 2, they went to sleep and... What if... No, Linda says. No. She lurches to her feet and breaks into a run. Stay here, Dave says to Mateo. I'll be right back. Mateo's head snaps up. The fuck, you're leaving me with these people? He says. They chase Linda through the surgery wing, past the nurse's station, through the ad hoc morgue, and into the staff corridor, where Linda elbows through a door marked On Call 1. Just as quickly as she bursts into the hall, running for the next door, Dave pauses to look into On Call 1. Empty, Mateo says. What are we looking for? Linda throws open On Call 2, then freezes. She goes to her knees next to a cot. Dave and Mateo linger in the doorway, watching as Linda shakes the other nurse. Britt, she moans. Come on, honey, open your eyes. We've got a lot to do. I need your help. You promised me. Linda keeps shaking her. Ma'am, Dave says, kneeling next to Brittany. He touches her neck, searching for a pulse. He tries again and again while Linda watches. She's gone, Linda says. She falls back onto her hands, eyes damp. She looks at Dave. We were all that's left. Everyone else is gone. Mateo turns away from the door, retching. Linda, Dave says, listen to me a second. All the other patients, the ones we just passed back there. What were they doing? He asked. When they died tonight, what were they doing? Were they all in their rooms? Watching TV? What? Her eyes flashed darkly. It was the middle of the night. What do you think they were doing? They were... Linda trails off, blinking. Sleeping, Dave says. Everyone who died tonight was asleep, weren't they? Oh, and that was the end of The Whale, which is technically our chapter 1, guys. I know some of you got here like in the middle of it, but holy shit. I'm actually very much enjoying this right now. The dialogue's a little bit funny and weird, but I think that's because it's written in a very modern way, which I don't really mind, but I'm quite enjoying it. I'm very much enjoying it. Let's see. Ooh, it was also a very long chapter, but I guess it's because they kind of did it more like a long section split into like multiple tiny chapters, which is really interesting the way they did it. Any thoughts ideas, prayers for the characters in the book because I fucking knew it because in the back it tells them that it's like the reason everyone's dying is because they're falling asleep and them going to sleep kills them. And so when all the characters who, like before they died were like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm just going to like close my eyes for a few seconds." I was like, "No, don't do it. You're going to die." Um but no, it's a really interesting concept. I think after this, after I read this book, I'm gonna have to go watch the show. I think because I want to see how each character is portrayed in the show. Nope, I'm not attached to any of them. I'm not attached to any of them either. But still, like when you're like reading the story and you like know a character is gonna die, I personally am like, no, don't do that. It's gonna lead to your death. Don't be stupid. But of course, like they're gonna die. Like I'm not attached to them yet or anything because it's literally just the beginning of the story. But still. But anyway, we're getting into the next section, microsleep. Um, Microsleep, part one. The sun breaks over Providence, Rhode Island, like a bomb detonating in the window of Millie's apartment, throwing a painful glare across her laptop screen. Oh, fuck off, son, she mutters. She downs the dregs of her coffee, swallowing with it a couple aspirin. 2 straight nights of shit sleep has her seeing double. Two cats staring up at her from a crusty food dish. 2 box televisions, which equals 4 foil-wrapped rabbit ears, 4 out-of-focus news anchors speaking at her in Klingon, and 14 coworkers trapped in little boxes on her screen. These early weekday meetings, she thinks, will be her end. Up at daybreak to check in with her remote team, she's the only East Coaster among them. The others are scattered around the globe, taking the meeting between making dinner and the kids' bath time, or just before they finally topple into bed themselves. Millie keeps her laptop's camera covered with a post-it note. She doesn't like cameras tracking her. It's just a bonus that none of her coworkers can tell if she's paying attention or not. Folks, I don't know what to tell you, says the team lead, Martin, a mole-faced man with a whiteboard where his forehead should be. He leans close to his own camera, his face filling the box on Millie's screen. When we started this week, we had 223 bugs. Somehow, we're closing out the week with over 300. Why are we even still discussing this? Because it's a holiday weekend? Carolina, somewhere in the central time zone, points out. Because the last time we had a week-long crunch, it turned into a month of long hours. Because we know what you're about to say. You are predictable, says Domhnall, who dialed in from Dublin. No offense intended, Marty. Though we don't have the same holiday here, Carolina. I can work the weekend, Millie says. When no one replies to her generous offer, she checks her microphone. Muted. She taps the icon to activate her mic, then says, I'll do it. Work the weekend, I mean. There you have it, says Claudia, who's joined from Sydney. Millie will save us all. Millie can't tell if Claudia is being sarcastic or sincere. Marty's giant mouth turned down at one corner. Millie, let's you and I sync up offline first. I'm just trying to help, asshole, Millie mutters in response. All the faces on Millie's screen seem to freeze in place, except Germaine, who covers his mouth with one hand, eyes dancing. Germaine says, Millie, honey, you're not muted. With that, Martin announces, we're at time. Updates before noon, please. If everyone could give us the room. He raises an eyebrow at his camera. Millie, you stay. One by one, Millie's coworkers blink out of the meeting. Before long, 2 Martins are all that is left. Millie, they say with one voice, you may find this conversation less than pleasant. Part 2. Here's what I can say with some certainty. Something is happening. Case in point, WZPE's AM's news shows usually end at 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Not today. They basically got the phone lines wide open, and people are calling in by the hundreds. The last caller just sobbed, they're dead, they're dead, they're dead, and disconnected. There are TV and radio stations all over the state that just aren't on the air at all. From my window, if I elevate my chair, I usually have a great view of the mile-long gridlock at the intersection of Monaghan and Walcott. The traffic lights there aren't even working, but the intersection's just dead. No cars that I've seen. Usually by now, my upstairs neighbor is jazzercising, but the whole building is strangely subdued. I haven't heard a single other person. Perhaps it's my overactive imagination, but I really don't think that's the case. If you have any information about what might be happening, I'll see you in the comments. Posted by Eli Broder, 7/4/25, 9:11 or 9:12 a.m. The blog cross-posts automatically to all his social platforms. It's conceivable some of his audience might respond there, but he'll check for replies in a minute. Instead, he nudges the joystick in his wheelchair, reversing away from his desk, then makes a 180-degree turn toward the balcony door. He slides it open, then rolls onto the narrow deck. It's the sort of Boston day he usually loves. Overcast with a smudge of deep gray over the Massachusetts Bay, promising rain later in the morning. Today, though, the gray sky reads menacing, the approaching storm a lumbering threat. The WZPE anchors carry out to the balcony. Caution advised for commuters today. Charlie, I don't know if the planets are retrograde or God got up on the wrong side of the bed, but it is definitely an off day. That's an understatement, Helena. Our field reporters are chasing down unconfirmed reports about multiple health and public safety incidents on city transit this morning. We're expecting more details soon. In the meantime, authorities have strongly encouraged people to consider alternate modes of transportation to their places of business today. A breath of wind stirs the clothes on Miss Roderick's line. Aprons and dish towels flutter lightly. It's unusual that she hasn't reeled the laundry in by now, Eli realizes, especially with the approaching storm. He leans to his left, straining to see through her window, but the light turns the glass opaque, giving him only the reflection of the parking garage across the street. Something isn't right at all. It reminds him of the holidays, when half of Boston has flown back home, leaving the streets and neighborhoods oddly hollowed out. Those who stay behind, though, always keep the city festive and alive. Today it's anything but festive. Today feels like a last exhalation before the light leaves the city's eyes. Part 3. Millie, can you switch on your video, please? This feels like it ought to be face-to-face conversation. When she doesn't immediately reply, Martin adds, Well, suit yourself. Listen, Millie. I apologize for my salty language, Millie says flatly. It was uncalled for. Well, thanks, I suppose. But, Millie, let's be honest. It's not about the language. I've been called worse by more significant people than you. Martin, are you firing me? Though Millie has no investment in the people with whom she works, the job itself matters a great deal to her. There aren't many remote work companies lining up to hire a narcoleptic, borderline, agoraphobic, socially anxious loner like her. It took 2 full years of searching to land this gig as a quality assurance engineer, then another 6 months of walking a wire, trying to learn the gig faster than they could find out she'd never done QA work before. I'm not thrilled with your performance, Martin says, stroking his nub of a chin. Your reports lately are full of holes. I've been asking Amelia to validate them for a couple weeks now, and your participation with the team is lacking. Today's a fine example. But I just offered to work the... Well, yes, I'll concede. You're generous when no one else wants to step up. He releases a pregnant sigh. Sorry. Oh, I read that faster than I want. Like, my mouth formed that word faster than I was thinking. What good is that generosity, though? The rest of the team has to re-execute your tests. I'll do better. Martin's face softens. Listen, is there something going on I'm not aware of? Anything I can help with? Millie's throat tightens. She can feel the episode coming on like a freight train. Inevitable and inescapable. Usually she gets the warning a little earlier, but every so often, particularly when she's stressed, they just happen. Martin's words stretch like taffy. Millie, I can help you if you let me. It's like stretched out words. I can't fucking do it. Whatever. She feels suddenly and totally exhausted, which is a bad sign. Over the decades, she's learned to identify clues that she's about to crash headlong into sleep, little twitches in her vision, or mistakes in her speech. Exhaustion means the episode will be a big. The desk yanks her face toward it. Her eyes flutter shut as she tips forward. For a moment, there's only quiet, and then there's bedlam. Fists hammer the apartment door. FBI, a granite-laced voice roars. You have 3 seconds to lie down and put your hands behind your head. Millie shouts, Go away! The door shudders at the first swing of the battering ram. Millie throws herself over the sofa. As she picks herself up, one of her kitchen cabinet doors explodes open, and a special agent in full body armor and obsidian black goggles tucks and rolls. Millie throws herself down the hallway as the agent comes up in a firing position. Bullets stitch the wall behind her. She kicks her bathroom door open, then slams it shut behind her and presses the button next to the sink. Steel shutters drop over the small bathroom window and seal the door. And here she's safe. Her mother always called the bathroom the panic room. Now Millie understands why. She huddles in the bathtub, breathing heavily as she listens to the agents splinter her front door and pour into the apartment. Loud voices move from room to room, shouting, "Clear! Clear!" No one can get into this room. Water sloshes inside the toilet tank. It trickles over the edge and drips down to the floor. Millie's heart races as the tank wobbles against the wall. The lid bucks upward, then drops heavily back into place. More water spills out. The pipes in the wall groan. Tiles pop free from the wall around the toilet. "Stop it!" she cries. The lid of the tank erupts, blasts at the ceiling. It falls again, hard and fast, and shatters on the floor. An agent rises from the tank, water sluicing down his helmet and goggles as he aims his rifle at her. Millie scrambles backward in the tub, but it's deeper now. The walls rising above her head above her like a canyon. The agent kicks his way out of the toilet tank, water geysering all over the bathroom, and looms over the bathtub. Bullets exiting his rifle and thudding sparking into the cast iron tub around her. Wham! Millie's head strikes the desk. Her laptop jumps at the impact. Martin, who has been saying something about a performance improvement plan, stops short. "Millie, what was that?" She's groggy from the episode, but she's got years and years of practice snapping back to reality from microsleep, and even more years of practice at lying. "My dog," she says. "He got excited by a bird at the window and just crashed onto my desk." She cups a hand over her mouth. Is her nose bleeding? And calls, "Bad dog. Defect. Sit. Sit." "You named your dog Defect?" Martin chuckles despite himself. "You might be a legit tester after all, Millie. We've just got to pull you out of the spin you're in." While Millie pinches her nose shut, Martin signs off, reminding her to check her mail for a PIP document. "You'll need to sign that and get it back to me by Monday," he says. A PIP, not her first performance improvement plan. She's experienced enough to know that PIPs are never designed to correct an employee's trajectory. They're legal cover-your-ass documents for the company to dodge any wrongful termination suits. She wonders how long she has before she's toast. When Martin's gone, she brews a fresh pot of coffee, then pulls herself onto the kitchen counter. As she waits, she stares at a parallelogram of sunlight drifting slowly across the linoleum floor. The parallelogram twitches. Millie blinks, and the slant of light has shifted 6 inches to the left and fractured. She's lost time? How much? The blood around her nose has begun to crust over. The coffee has long since finished brewing, still somewhat warm. At least the little digital clock on the old coffee maker reads 4:11 p.m. It doesn't keep time correctly anymore, but if it's saying it's after 4 p.m., that means it's... She glances at her phone. Been 40 minutes since she first walked into the kitchen. She puts the phone down, but it dings and displays a notification. A new post in the sleep disorder forum she participates in. "Hi, everyone, new to the forum. 16 years old and just diagnosed. Narcolepsy and cataplexy. My mom took me to the neurologist when I went to sleep at a baseball game and missed the whole thing. Nobody could wake me up. I had to keep a sleep diary, then do all these tests, and now we're trying medications. Xyret didn't work. I'm on something now called Vigilest, which sounds like it's for old guys whose junk doesn't work anymore. I just needed to talk to people like me. The neurologist told me all the things I didn't know. That I might never get a driver's license, for one. I'm 16. I microsleep when I talk to people. I had a girlfriend, but she dumped me because she said I can't be with someone who thinks I'm so boring they'd rather sleep. I sleep all night sometimes and wake up and it's like my brain has no record that I slept at all. Once or twice I have blacked out and fallen down. One of those times right at the top of some stairs. I was lucky I didn't fall forward, my mom says. I stream video games on the internet, and in a lot of my videos you can see me zone out, or have memory bobbles, or fall asleep then wake up real fast. Sometimes my muscles turn to noodles. That's the cataplexy. One of those times my uncle was watching when it happened, and he called 911 because he thought I'd just spontaneously died. I don't know anyone else in the world like me. I don't like to admit it, but I'm scared. Sometimes I even think, what's the point of living if it's just going to be like this forever? Zeph. Millie sighs and taps post a reply. Welcome to the club, kiddo. Part 4. The news anchors are repeating themselves, cycling helplessly through the same speculation and half-baked theories Eli's encountered all morning. The building around him is so ominously quiet he can hear pipes creaking in the other apartments. Outside the window, the storm has drawn nearer, sending ahead of it more and more powerful rushes of wind. stirring up fallen leaves and other debris from the street below. One of Miss Roderick's aprons plasters itself to Eli's balcony door. The sky has darkened, deepened. As if I need more blatant metaphor. Eli's fingers loom over the keyboard, waggling mid-air as he considers what to type next. As someone who leaves the apartment only for regularly scheduled events, he's part of a Monday night writers meetup and a Wednesday afternoon chess club, and he does his grocery shopping on Thursday mornings, preferably before 7. Eli keeps himself tethered to the world beyond via an array of blogs and social media platforms. Today he's updating his personal blog, Never Sleeping Again. I've been sifting through news fragments and rumors and hype all morning trying to understand what, if anything, is actually happening right now. All the while, the storm has been chewing up scenery in a rush to make its entrance. Someone knows what's going on, even if I don't. If you're reading this, and you have some details, slide into my comments and share. All I can share is what I'm personally saying in my little neighborhood. Things are broken. There's a 3-story car parked across from my building. Typically at this time of morning, you can see people circling endlessly, hunting for elusive empty spaces. Not today. There may be 4 cars in the whole structure today. Ugh, nobody wants to read about parking lots. Eli backspaces the last paragraph. Then, nothing. His brain shifts into neutral. The words on his screen turn to soft fuzz. 20 seconds later, he shakes his head. Where was I? Last night. Day 6 of my latest insomnia series. I slept fewer than 2 hours. I've been up since just after 1 a.m., intermittently working on a piece I'm writing for Tilde, about processing childhood trauma. Not exactly the best story for me to write in the middle of the night, given what we all know about my nightmares and sleep history, but there was nothing good on TV, and Netflix wasn't scratching the itch. I keep microsleeping and losing my place. I don't have a title for the piece yet. I'm trying an alternating structure, moving back and forth between 2 timelines. 2025, Eli in session with his therapist, desperately trying to make peace with 2007 Eli, the little boy strapped into the backseat of that doomed car. I'm struggling to make it feel effortless, but the story is anything but. Every day is one day further away from that origin story. The tragic day when all my nightmares, my chronic insomnia, my anxiety and depression, and myriad other troubles were born. His brain feels like a glass bowl filled with smoke. His thoughts difficult to locate in the billows. Why can't he get his head on straight? He's tired, sure, but shit, Eli realizes. I'm off schedule. He directs his chair into the kitchen, where, besides the sink, he keeps a carefully organized tray of his many medications, sorted into days and weeks. Usually he'll elevate his chair to manage his meds, but today he's feeling just a little wavery, as though his equilibrium has gone on coffee break, so he doesn't. The pills rattle gently in their slots as he opens the plastic tray. With one probing finger, he scoops the contents of day 4 into one palm. 1 tab of Somalcia, a capsule of Restylane, and 2 oval-shaped Alexidas. I hope I said that right. He deposits the pills into the scooped-out hollow in his chair's arm, then reaches for a glass. When he turns the faucet on and brings the glass to the tap, however, his sleeve snags the corner of the pills tray, still open lid. The tray tips over the rim of the sink, spilling a month's worth of meds into the black mouth of the garbage disposal. What few pills don't immediately disappear are carried into the depths by the running water. No! Eli cries out, dropping the glass into the sink. He manages to fish out a few pills before they're washed away, but when he counts them, he realizes the ones he saved won't even carry him through tomorrow morning. Shit! He can practically feel the cold sweats that'll hit him before long. Sure, he'll be all right today, maybe even tomorrow. By Monday, though, he'll feel the shakes. The gravity his bed exerts will have tripled. He'll hardly be able to roll over, much less hoist himself into his chair. Eli finds his phone and dials his doctor's office. The line rings and rings until eventually he's dumped into a voicemail box that, as past experience has taught him, is as much a singularity as his garbage disposal. Next, he dials the pharmacy on Jensen, which lately fills all his prescriptions, but there's no answer there either. A recorded message advises him to try back later, during business hours. It is business hours, he yells at the phone. His unfinished blog post forgotten, Eli drives to his bedroom, bumping into the doorframe as though he hadn't navigated it a million times before. He rolls right to the nightstand where an MP3 player, more than a decade old, slumbers. He wakes the device from sleep. Its screen has clouded over the years, and it won't even power on anymore if not plugged in. He touches the voice memos where a single file is listed. Song for Eli, November 6, 2001. 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Eli elevates his chair to bed height, then lifts himself onto the mattress. He folds the comforter over his legs, then takes his earbuds from the nightstand and slips them in. He taps the recording once, then closes his eyes. It isn't a great recording. He can hear the low hum of the Honda's tires on asphalt, the intermittent rush of cars whipping past, but he sinks into the memory. Eli is 8 years old again, buckled into a child seat in the back seat, returning home from a weekend spent eating hot dogs and riding the Wonder Wheel at Coney Island, delighting in the sound of his parents singing road trip songs from the front seat. He holds out his birthday present, a digital recorder, and records his parents as they sing a duet of their favorite Pretenders song. When I look up from my pillow, I dream you are there with me. In bed, Eli loops one arm beneath his knee and tugs them as close to his chest as his damaged spine will permit. He plays the recording over and over until his panic has subsided. He can handle this. It's perfectly manageable. All he needs to do is talk to someone in the doctor's office or someone at the pharmacy. It's a phone call. He can manage a phone call. Eli puts the device back on the nightstand, picks up his phone, and dials his doctor again. And that was the end of the microsleep chapter. And now we're at the elephant, which I'm assuming is going to be back to David, our main character, David Torres, or Dave. I don't know why I said David, it's Dave. Dave Torres. But yeah, no, so I didn't realize it was going to be kind of split up into like different characters, I guess, for different sections, because on the back of the book it says that the main character is Dave. It follows Dave in his story, but it's interesting to see like other people's side of like what's happening, because it's apocalyptic kind of, but nobody's realizing it's quite an apocalypse yet, I'm assuming, because everyone's dying. Like they're falling asleep and they're dying. That sounds very apocalyptic to me. So which when it's like Lovecraftian and stuff, it's more so like, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's more like existential dread instead of like maybe like a society or like a small city or something is affected by like this Lovecraftian creature. Maybe sometimes it leads to the end of the world, like in Bird Box or whatnot. But I like this one. I like the story so far, which we're gonna go ahead and get into the next section. I'll read. I don't know how far I'll get into this section. Actually, how long is this section? A very long section, it appears. Hold on. A very fucking long section. But we'll read a bit more and see where we're at. But we're gonna go into it. The Elephant, Part 1. Tonight will go the way it's supposed to. Tracy wants to believe this. Needs to. Oh, I guess we're not back with Dave. Never mind. I thought we were going to be back with Dave. Eventually, all streaks end. Eventually, he has to get better. Every night can't be like the last several hundred. Can it? Through the door, she hears him chattering to himself. Deep breaths. You've got this. It will be okay. If only she believed it. She opens the door. Davy sits on the floor, happily stacking books in a tower. The tower wobbles, and he laughs as it topples, spilling board books everywhere. Mama, he chirps, watch this. He stacks the book again, and this time before they fall, he knocks them over, making explosion sounds with his lips. I'm a giant. I knocked down. My little giant, Tracy says. Not little, the boy says. You're right. I'm sorry. You aren't little. You're my giant. Davy erupts in laughter. Giant. That's me. But when Tracy steps into the bedroom, Davy's eyes fall on the book in her hand. Not time yet, he says worriedly. Not time yet, Mama. It's all right, Davy, she says. We still have time. You haven't brushed your teeth yet, have you? She helps him select his favorite footy pajamas, the ones printed with roly-poly hedgehogs driving bumper cars, then watches as he brushes his teeth. The minutes pass too quickly, and suddenly they're back in his room. She switches his bedside lamp on, then draws the curtains. Books can't hurt you, she assures him as he climbs into bed. Books are magic, Davy. They take you anywhere you want to go. That book wants to eat me, he whispers. Davy, no. We know that isn't true. It's a good book, a cute book, and I need your help to read it, okay? She pulls the blankets over his feet. You're not getting too big for a bedtime story, are you? My giant still likes to be tucked in. No, he says, eyes shining darkly. I am not a giant. She sits beside him on the bed, her back to the wall, and pulls his head to her chest. She smooths his dark hair, then opens the book. A, she reads, touching the illustration of a cheerful apple, its eyes gleaming with joy. What's A for? A is for apple. Davy's voice is very small. My smart boy. Here, turn the page for Mama. He shakes his head firmly. She turns the page herself, revealing a butter-shaped ball player swinging a breadstick bat, hammering a baseball toward the stands. The ball looms large in the foreground, winking happily. B, she reads. B is for ball, Mama. What kind of ball? It's a baseball. How many B's is that? He holds up 2 tiny fingers in a V. That's right. Good, Davy. So good. On the next page, a furry cat's cheeks bulge as it blows a clarinet, while a dog thumps on the drums. Davy giggles at the silly expression of the dog's face. Tracy leans forward and kisses Davy's soft hair. But when she tries to turn the page, he places his palm over the illustration. Mama, no, he whispers. Please, okay? It's the alphabet, Davy, she says, working hard at sounding cheerful. We can't just skip a letter, and the most common letter of all. I'm ready for sleep. Be my brave giant, Davy. We can do this. Together, okay? She turns the page to reveal a jungle scene. In the shadows, an elephant's shadowy face emerges from the leaves. She has to admit the elephant's a bit creepy. Maybe she needs to order a book about the cute elephant. The French one. E is for, she prompts. Come on, Davy. This one's easy. E is for... She stops. Do you feel something? What is that? She raises the book. A dark stain spreads over her linen pants, right where Davy's leg is draped over hers. He's trembling. Davy, she cries out. What is wrong with... Get up! But Davy doesn't move. The dampness spreads over his pajama pants, drips onto the sheets beneath him. Tracy tosses the book down, throws the blanket, and lifts Davy off the bed. She deposits him on the floor, not gently. He cowers against the bookcase, while Tracy turns her attention to the bed, stripping the sheets and wadding them into a ball. What's wrong with you, she snaps. Are you broken? It's a book. Davy, it's just a cute elephant. Jesus. Davy covers his face with his hands. Mama, no, no. She snatches up the book, holds the E page in front of Davy's face. Look at it, she demands, voice shrill. Say the word, Davy. What is it? Say it. Dave wails between his fingers. E is for what, Davy? For what? Davy sinks to the floor, shrinking against the bookcase, as though it could swallow him up. Tracy drops the book on his lap. His bedside lamp, there's a dancing kaleidoscope of animal shadows upon the walls. Usually this makes him laugh, but now the shadows stretch menacingly over his mother's face. E, she shrieks at him. What is it for, Davy? Tracy's hands find the back of her head. Davy watches, stricken, as she pulls out her scalp, straining so violently that the cords in her neck stand out sharply. With a terrible sucking sound, his mother's features go slack as she peels her skin and hair away in meaty strips. Jesus, the fuck? Sorry. That was a surprise. Davy's scream rattles his spine. For what, Davy? Tracy tears away what remains of her face, revealing the grotesque pebbled hide beneath. Her trunk unfurls, heavy and streaked with blood. Her papery ears are matted against her gray crown. Stop it, Davy shrieks. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I'd like to, Davy, says the elephant thing that used to be his mother. Its voice is hard and throaty. But you have to say it, or this never stops. Mama, Davy moans. This is your fault, the beast says. Its trunk searches out Davy's face, presses slick against his cheek, exhales hot, sour breath into his hair. I warned you, didn't I? Davy looked down at his pajama shirt. Something beneath bulges. Utter panic consumes him as he clutches at his shirt, trying to hold it away from his skin. He looks wildly at the thing above him. I can't stop it now, the elephant grunts. Its mouth unhinges, and a thick river of mustard-colored bile streams onto Dave's leg. I wouldn't if I could. You aren't a good boy. Davy, blinded by the pain, cups his hands over his chest in time to catch a small elephant that bursts from his breastbone. Yellow foam rises in Dave's throat. He can't clear it to breathe. The small elephant stretches in Dave's little palms, glistening and damp. Davy's vision blurs. He's suddenly terribly sleepy, and his hand falls limp. A strange hand takes Davy's fingers. Strong, calloused, unfamiliar. The bedroom swims in and out of focus as Davy turns to look at the stranger kneeling beside him. The man's face, lined with age, is painted as if for war. Hanging around his neck on gnarled red twine is a crude carving. A whale, Davy thinks. Mawe, the stranger whispers, enveloping Davy's hand in his own. Ke no no way. The newborn elephant tumbles free of Davy's cratered shirt and peers up at the boy. It blows red bubbles from its trunk, then trumpets weakly, almost happily. As he begins to black out, Davy thinks the sound resembles his own name. Dave, 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 wake up, honey. Dave snaps upright in bed with such force he nearly headbutts Tracy, who's leaning over him, concern etched into her face. No, not Tracy. Katie. Not his mother, not his bedroom. He clutches his chest, intact. It's okay, Katie says, taking his face in her cool hands. You are safe. You're all right. Breathe, baby. Jesus Christ, he wheezes and falls back against his pillow. It squelches, heavy with sweat. I'm gonna make you coffee, Katie says. She kisses his slick forehead. You clean up. When she returns from the kitchen, holding 2 steaming mugs, Dave has stripped the bed. The sheets are in a pile on the floor. I think I might pull the mattress onto the porch, he says, ashamed. It's soaked with sweat, he adds. I mean, go clean yourself up, baby, like a shower. I was gonna do this. You don't have to do... Baby. She hands him a mug. Do you remember it? He takes the mug and a deep swallow. The coffee burns his tongue and throat. It reminds him he's awake. He's alive. Katie watches him with concern. You're gonna be late, he says, turning away from her. Like, really late. I'll sneak in, Katie says. Lily just got her 18-month fob. I'm pretty sure she thinks the whole meeting is her fan club. She talks for hours now. She gives Dave a careful look. Come with? He raises one eyebrow. I know what you're up to. It's not espionage, Dave. I care about you. I'm fine, really. She puts her mug down, then steps close to Dave. Listen, she says, one delicate palm on his chest. You never have to tell me anything you don't want to tell me. I know, thank you. She chews her lips, averts her eyes. But, he prompts, just don't lie to me about it. I can't do that. I can't handle that. He tips her chin upward, brushes his thumb on brushes his thumb on the tip of her nose. You're so cute, he says. Dave, I promise. Across the room, Davy's phone trills. Beep! Holy hell, Dave says. New alarm? It's so loud. Beep! Beep! Sorry. Part 2. The insect drone of a dozen electrocardiograms floats up the hallway. Mateo, go unplug whatever those are, Dave says. Belinda shakes her head. Unplugging won't do anything. Her voice is toneless. They'll work on battery for 3 hours. You said she died in her sleep? It's the only thing that makes sense, Linda lightly strokes the dead nurse's fingers. It doesn't make sense at all. But a heart attack? Did she stroke out? Mateo, Dave warns. I just want to know what the fuck is going... I don't know, all right? Linda's face flushes with anger. Why do I have to have all the answers? Why do I have to do everything? Whoa, okay. Mateo says, backing up a step. This is a nightmare for everyone. Dave nods, taking charge. We can just... Both men flinch as Linda throws her head back and screams. The anguish in her voice, so unfiltered and primal, touches something raw in David, and his eyes prick. Beside him, Mateo rocks from one foot to the other. Oh, this is gonna do some damage, Dave realizes. It's already fucking us up. I'm glad he's self-aware that this is gonna be very traumatizing. Sorry. Linda drags her palms down her face, stretching her features. Then, abruptly, she stands up. You guys have a car, she says, not asking. Part 3. Minutes later, they stand beside Mateo's occupied Camaro, and Linda says, oh, right. She drops the heavy duffel she's loaded with supplies and says, well, give me a hand, I guess. They struggle with the bodies in silence. When the second of them is on the sidewalk, Mateo says tentatively, what do we need my car for? You're driving me to the police station, Linda grunts. I gotta sneeze. Bless me. I need to... whatever's going on here, I'm about 80% certain it's not an isolated event. Have you heard any sirens tonight? No. Literally nobody's responding. No ambulances, no feds. I need to talk to someone. A real person. Not someone on a phone. I need to tell them what happened here. Look, Mateo starts. Don't. Linda folds her arms. Studies have shown that any time someone starts a sentence with look, they're about to disappoint you. Despite himself, Dave chuckles. Mateo has lots of experience disappointing people. Yo, you two can clown all you want, but it's, what, 7 in the morning? We've been up all night playing doctor and not in the fun way. This shit is too much. I'm going home. I'm sleeping until it's next week. Linda glances at Dave, then visibly composes herself. She turns to Mateo and puts a hand on his elbow. Mateo, listen to me. Tonight I watched healthy people, people whose only problems were a broken ankle or tonsillitis. I watched them die, for no reason. Nothing I did stopped it from happening, and we just took dead people out of your nice car. It is a nice car, Mateo mumbles petulantly. And it is too much. This isn't normal. None of it is, but that's why we can't go home yet. Take your own car. I don't have one. Public transport all the way, sweetie. The police station is just 10 minutes away, Dave says. Mateo's shoulders slump. Okay, but I'm going home after. I'll tuck you in myself, Linda says. Right now, though, there's a perfectly nice young woman in your car who needs our attention. Mateo kicks the sidewalk. That used to mean something hella different. Dave adds, I think that's the Bond guy, not Becca. Whatever, Linda says with a sigh. Give me a hand. Oh, we've got a couple. I'll read. Let me see how long this next section is. Oh, it's a long one. Let's say I'll read one more section, but I think we're gonna leave it at this section, so we can do our little outro as the ad break starts. Oh shit. Well, okay, never mind. I'll continue reading because we hit like an ad break, so I'll continue reading before we do the little outro as the ad break starts. That's hilarious. Okay. Part 4. Santa Mira unfolds below them like a Rockwell painting. The sun rises behind the Camaro as Mateo crests the hill, scattering light over the Pacific breakers. No surfers today, Mateo observes idly. He points at the empty water. There are usually 50 of them catching the morning tides. Dave glances out the window as Mateo brakes for a stoplight. The car thrums below him, the only thing alive on the whole street. Porch lights burn at every house on the block. Sidewalks are empty except for recycling bins. Every driveway has a car in it. The light turns green, but Linda puts her hand on the wheel. Don't, she says. Mateo's eyes flick to the rearview mirror. The long hills behind them is empty. What? Park it. Before Mateo can shift the transmission, Linda throws open the door and climbs out. Shit, Mateo grumbles. He throws the car in park and yanks the handlebrake. Dave, this chick, I swear. Beside the car, Linda paces back and forth. Mateo drops his window and leans out. Yo, we cool? Linda absently takes down her hair and reties it. Then, startling both boys, clambers first onto the Camaro's warm hood, then its roof. The metal warps with a metallic ring. Motherfucker, Mateo yelps. He tumbles out of the car. Lady, you're trashing my... Jesus, Linda says, ignoring him. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dave elbows his way out of the back seat. Mateo dances over to him, pointing at the dent under Linda's nurse shoes. But Dave waves him off. Linda, what is it? It's the whole town, she says, not looking down at them. Guys, the whole town. The west side of the street, all houses, is just as Dave had noticed before. Nobody's woken up. No one's day has begun. The east side, all storefronts, is still locked up tight for the night. Even the Starbucks on the corner is dead. Where the hell is everyone? Mateo asks. Linda drops onto her butt, then slides off the roof. She circles to the driver's window, leans into the door, and pops the trunk. Woman thinks she owns my car, Mateo says to himself. Hello? Dave takes in the scene, searching for even the faintest movement in the middle distance. But the only sound is the white noise whisper of the waves. He can even hear the faint click of the bulbs turning over as the traffic lights cycle. Hey, he calls. Can anyone hear? The angry crack of a gunshot splinters the silence. Mateo reacts in an instant, dropping for cover behind the Camaro's tire. Dave's hands find his ears. He doubles over. The sharp report reverberates off the houses and buildings, echoes overlapping almost mechanically as they move away from the car. Dave looks wildly around, then spots Linda next to the open trunk, unzipped duffel at her feet, a still smoking handgun held above her head. They should have heard that, she says. Dave tries shaking off the high-pitched tone in his ears. What? Someone will come now. Abruptly, she pulls the trigger once, twice more. Mateo flinches, then shoots up and charges Linda. He grips her forearm and immobilizes her trigger finger, twisting the gun from her hand. Instinct has him squared up, ready for action. Dave puts a hand on Mateo's shoulder. Easy there. This woman's crazy, Mateo says. They'll come now, Linda explains. Now they'll come. Dave. Won't they come? Aren't they coming now, Dave? Dave steps past Mateo and folds Linda into his arms. Shush, he says. I don't know. I really don't know. Behind them, Mateo releases the clip, then racks the loaded cartridge out of the chamber. He drops both into his pocket. I'm keeping this, he tells Linda, and tucks the gun into his waistband. She's right, Dave says, surveying the neighborhood. Nobody's coming. Well, we go to them then, Mateo says. Right? Can we? Okay, and that was the end. Well, not the end of the chapter, but the end of that section. We are in the middle of the elephant still, so we'll leave it there, though, for now, because we don't have enough time to finish off this section. But I'm really liking this story so far. It's pretty good. We got quite a way through here. It's very interesting, though. Oh my god, I literally can't talk. It's very interesting, though. I'm gonna watch the show, I think, but I won't watch it until after we read the story, though. Like, we finish the story. But don't leave just yet, everyone. We're gonna go raid someone. I'm sure most of you are probably asleep by now, which is fine. But if you haven't and would like to, you can donate points to our merch goal that we have set up. Oh, Outer's streaming. Let's go raid Outer. We're gonna go raid Outer today. Let me set up that raid. Maybe, let's see. But yes, I will be streaming tomorrow. It is, what are we playing tomorrow? What the fuck we're playing the spooky picture game where we take pictures and ghosts come at us. Okay, I can't remember what it's called right now. Listen, it's late at night, all right? But anyway, we are streaming tomorrow, probably around the same time. Hopefully I will see you there. If not, that's okay. I will catch you in the next one, but have a good night, day, whatever it may be for you travelers. And bye-bye.